how to positively build yourself. Now, what I mean by this is this doesn't apply to just music producers, just mixing engineers, mastering engineers. It doesn't just apply to audio people. This applies to everybody worldwide. So how to positively build yourself. Now, what I mean by that is, you know, there's ways when you're working, when you're living your life in general, that you can be brought down. And the least that happens, the better, right? What I mean by this is, you know, what you want to be doing, follow positive accounts on Instagram, on Facebook, positive accounts, right? I can look at my wife's Instagram, for instance, and it is picture after picture of women in bikinis and dressed up in dresses that they're paid to sell. She follows the types of accounts of like The Only Way Is Essex, the girls that like these kind of socialite women, right? And that's fine. That she's kind of, it's almost like you're kind of conditioned to that's what you follow, and she likes it, so albeit right. But for me, what I like to follow is real positive accounts, things that promote positivity, things that are like, you know, pages that are inspiring. Follow YouTube channels that are inspiring. They are going to inspire you when you watch that video. They don't like following Instagram accounts that are just pictures of people who look beautiful. All that's going to do is all it's going to do is put you down. You know, these are the highlights of people's lives, right? It's not a case of their life is not like that 100% of the time. Believe me. I mean, I posted up a story the other day. We went for a business meeting and we went in a helicopter to this business meeting, and it was amazing. But that's a highlight, right? I jump in my Nissan X-Trail SUV anywhere else that I go, but you don't see that. You only see me in a helicopter. So it's like, you know, these are just the highlights. Follow the people that are inspiring you. You know, like you follow my pages, for instance. Every day it's something that's going to inspire you to do better as a musician, as a music producer, as an engineer. It's going to do that for you. So it's highly positive to follow these sorts of pages, rather than following things that are just literally, they're just going to dumb you down and going to make you depressed. And like we've as a generation, we've got a rising kind of rate of depression, and it's partly because when we look at Instagram and things, we look at other people's lives and goes, oh wow, they're living their life. You know, they've gone on 5 holidays this year. It's like, no, they haven't. They went on 1 holiday and took 5 sets of pictures and posted them throughout the year. That's what the reality is. It's not what you are, what they're showing you. So other things are, delete people that are toxic. They're negative. They just sap the life out of you. Delete them. You don't need them on social media. Believe me, I have plenty of people, or rather had plenty of people who are just, you know, you go to school with them and they're just a drain on your life, because every time you read their post, it's draining, because there are a lot of people that are highly negative. And they're not necessarily friends. You just knew them from school. And now, you know, they're constantly posting things that are very, very negative, always arguing, always looking to bait people into an argument. Delete. Get rid of them. As soon as you get rid of them sorts of people, you know, they're gone. Like, I had a guy on my Facebook that was, you know, he's vile person. And just delete him. Gone. I don't need that sort of person in my life. You know, he's not an actual friend. He's just a person that I've known for a long time. And, you know, you've become a vile person. We've moved separate ways. You're now a negative effect on my life. I don't want to see your posts. When I wake up in the morning, I'm drinking my coffee. I don't want to see that. So delete those sorts of people. The next one's like, set out goals. Set a goal. Write your goals down. Stick it on the fridge. You know, there's no harm in setting out a goal and constantly being reminded of this goal. You know, I always remember my auntie. She had a goal, right? She was the same age as Madonna, so she had a picture of Madonna. I don't know if anyone remembers this, but there was a video that she done where she was wearing a purple kind of leotard, and I mean, she was probably late 40s, 50s or something, and she looked ridiculously good for her age. And this picture was, I remember, it was posted on her fridge, and she had it there as a constant kind of, this is my goal. I want to achieve that sort of body, for instance, and that was her goal, and she wanted that as her goal. Now, this is totally separate to looking at other women all over Instagram who have amazing bodies. It's totally separate to that, and not following those. This is setting a goal and trying to achieve that. For me, like, you know, I have a list in my notes on my phone of all the different goals. I have everything written down, and every day I'll have a coffee in the morning. I will look at these goals and I will set out to try and achieve certain things. And I might not achieve that goal straight away. I might not achieve it today, but I might not achieve it tomorrow. But eventually, over the course, it is a goal that I'm gradually trying to achieve. And over a course of a period of time, I may achieve it, and hopefully I do. But ultimately, having that goal, writing that goal down, and having that goal there in front of you, and then looking at that goal every day. Not all day, every day. Just look at it once a day. Get a mental note in the morning of what your goals are and try and achieve something. You know, the other things like if, like, for me, if I sit there and I'm not busy, if I'm not doing something, I'm never ever bored, because I'm thinking of different things. So it's not a case of I'm sitting there, even if I'm just sitting there eating my cereal in the morning, for instance, you know, having a coffee, I'm constantly I'm thinking. If I'm all alone, I'm just thinking about ways to build on what I've already achieved, new business idea, new this, new that. Another thing is, have a notepad by your bed. I have a notepad by my bed, and I also have my phone by my bed, which has notepad obviously on it, where I could write things, but it's not as quick and simple. When you wake up, for instance, in the middle of the night, I have some of my best ideas in the middle of the night, and it would just be like, right. It's like, here's an example. Say for instance, you have a dream in the middle of a night, right? So you have this dream, and you go, that was a brilliant dream. I told my wife about that in the morning. You wake up in the morning, you can't remember that dream, can you? You forget about it. And that's the same with waking up and having a great idea. You know, the amount of times when I used to write songs, for instance, I'd have a brilliant memory, brilliant melody in my head, but I'd not remember it. Nowadays, you've got your phone with the voice recorder. Quickly throw that into a voice recorder, save it. Now you've got that brilliant melody. When you get to the studio next, you can put that melody down. But that's the same with when you wake up, or when you just have any idea about anything business related. Write it down. Get it written down as soon as possible before you forget, because you will forget. I mean, maybe you've got better memories than me, but I always forget. That's why I write everything down. I've got sheets of paper in notepads which have just everything written down, and I'll go through them and I'll go, right, okay, let's implement that today. The last one I'm going to say is, be around people you aspire to be. So if you're aspiring to be, a great business person, be around other great business people. So I used this analogy the other day. I was talking to someone and I said, look, you hang around with 3 idiots. What do you become? You become an idiot, right? You hang around with 3 people who want to sit on the sofa and watch TV all day. What do you end up doing all day? You know, you sit around watching TV all day. you become the people that you hang about with. You know, if you want to be a great business person, hang around with great business people. It rubs off. It really does. You know, I can't really divulge into this too much, but you know, I go for meetings, and I you know, in and around people who are multimillionaires, and just by being around them, in the kind of vicinity of them, and in their kind of they do have this gravitational pull that, you know, they are very, very, very successful people. You hang around with these sorts of people, it rubs off, and you become successful yourself. You mentally become a lot more successful, because you feel better about yourself, and you're able to achieve your goals better. But also, it is that thing of hang around with 3 billionaires, you will most probably become, maybe not a billionaire, but you'll become someone that will make a lot of money, because you're having conversations with people who can inspire you, who can drive you, and can ultimately help you as well. And that's what's really important about, you know, hang around with the right people.